Welcome into Jags A.M. this morning, brought to you by Fields Auto Group. I'm Kainani Stevens. Sexton and John Oehser with me as we get ready for a Week 4 matchup. Jaguars are heading out west to California to take on the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's talk about our big things. Brought to you by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association. First big thing is next man up. We heard yesterday that Dyami Brown, he's on the injury report with a shoulder injury. He did not participate in practice on Wednesday, so that could mean an increased role on offense for rookie Travis Hunter. Trevor Lawrence talked a little bit yesterday about what it's going to take and how he can kind of work with him on the sideline.
I try to grab him as soon as I can, between series and all stuff, because if he's going to defense, obviously he's not going to be over there. So just trying to grab him right off the field as soon as I can. Game day's a little bit tougher. Sometimes I got to find him a little bit after the fact, just because I know he's running around trying to make sure he's not going in on defense. So the communication's been good, though. He's been really receptive. He's been around, looking at pictures or whatever on the iPad. If I have to go grab him, he's always been there. We haven't had a problem with that yet.
Brian, we've seen what Travis Hunter can do on defense. Now with Dyami Brown potentially out this weekend, we may see an increased role on offense.
Without a doubt. And when you go back and look at the 21-yard completion that Trevor had with Travis, and the double move that he made to get free for the first down, a clutch play in the third quarter, why wouldn't you want the ball in his hands more? But it won't just be Travis. Parker Washington, who the Jaguars, despite the drops last week, have a lot of faith in. And also, perhaps Austin Trammell might come up from the practice squad. They'll have to make that decision later in the week. Also, Kai, looking at that next man up, it's the phrase that every team uses when players are injured. Relatively speaking, the Jaguars are talking about one player at one position. If you look at the report from San Francisco,
sure.
Nick Bosa and all those players on offense who are limited or out, the Jaguars are pretty healthy. That's a good sign.
Yeah, and don't forget Tim Patrick in the wide receiver corps. He could matter a lot as a receiver this week. I don't know that you're going to see more snaps from Travis Hunter, but I do think you're going to see them try to get him the ball more in situations, try to scheme for him a little more. He's been playing 40 snaps, and I don't know that they're in a hurry to increase numbers on either side of the ball, but they definitely want to increase the number of times he has the ball in positions to make plays.
All right, let's go to big thing number 2, which is a tough test for Trevor Lawrence and this offense going up against the 49ers defense. They'll be without Nick Bosa, but they've got a ton of other players that fly around over there. And Coach Cohen talked a little bit about the difficulty going up against that defense.
And say you're going to get greedy at some point. You're going to get bored at some point of kind of playing the 12 to 15 and in game, right? Because they do play a ton of quarters. Lead the NFL, I believe, in shell coverage and quarters and cover 6, quarter, half variations. We'll see if that holds true this week for sure, but that's definitely what they've wanted to do through 3 games, and it just makes you as a play caller and as a quarterback have to be patient and meticulous and just keep taking what they end up giving you. And then, we have to take advantage of the ops that we do get down the field that we didn't take advantage of this past week.
John, the Texans defense, obviously tremendous. The 49ers defense, very, very good in their own way, and also just so smart. It feels like those penalties and little mistakes on offense that we've seen through the first couple of weeks will really bite them if they have them in this game. Yeah,
in any NFL game, when you start getting yourself behind the chains and you're facing 1st and 15 instead of 2nd and 8, that's big. Look, with apologies to Nick Bosa, Fred Warner might be the best player in the 49ers defense. So then they're not going into this game without skill and ability. But it's going to be a big moment game for Trevor. Anytime you play a defense like this, they're going to give you 3 or 4 opportunities in a game. And when it's there, you've got to take it. Brian, I think at some point the key for this offense, maybe this weekend, they've got to start getting some explosives. Yeah. They've shown they can run. They've shown they can get guys open. But I thought going into the season that the reason I had hopes for this offense, shocking, I was wrong. But not so much. I didn't expect the running game to be this consistent this early. I thought there would be explosives. I think there will be. Travis Hunter and BTJ this week for me.
Really, perhaps the best player for the Niners defense right now, John, is Robert Saleh. And Gus Bradley is out there as the assistant head coach for defense, the senior guy, and they run a really good scheme. But this is not the same defense that rolled in here 2 years ago and put 5 down defensive linemen, pummeled the quarterback, and held the Jaguars to just a field goal. There's only 2 players left, Warner, who you mentioned, and a corner, Lenore. The Jaguars will have to take some shots because there will be opportunities to take some shots. This is not that same defense. And I think when you look at the success that Trevor has had against the Colts the last couple of years, well, this is the same defensive scheme. So I think there's going to be opportunities. The Jaguars have to get the running game started because that is through which everything runs. But I think there's going to be opportunities, and the Jaguars can't be scared to take them.
Our final big thing today is going to be containment. The Jaguars defense has been playing amazing the first 3 weeks, and there's a lot of injury reports, a lot of wide receivers out, pass catchers for the 49ers this week. One player we do know is going to go, though, is Christian McCaffrey, and he's so versatile. Brian, when we look at that, and is it just hopes of containment there?
Well, listen, he is more effective this year so far as a pass receiver out of the backfield. He's averaging 8.3 yards every time he touches the ball via pass. He's not as effective running the ball this year, just 3.4 yards per carry. But if you factor it in, he's averaging 5 yards every time the ball is in his hands. Yeah, he's a tough guy to contain. He's so elusive. He's got the ability to stop and start. He's a tremendous football player, and they're going to put the ball in his hands.
Well, he sort of defines their offense. And by that, I mean, when you go to the line as a defense, they're one of the offenses in the league where you really cannot read them because of McCaffrey. He can catch the ball, he can run. You don't know what they're going to do on a given play out of given formation. So it would be easy to look at his numbers, his rushing numbers through 3 games and say, well, that's not what you're used to seeing. He's going to break out at some point. He's too good not to, and he's still in his prime. The Jaguars have to make sure it's not this weekend.
And they give him the ball 25 times a game. He
sure
touches it 25 times a game.
And he deserves every single touch because he's very good with the ball in his hands. Stay with us here on Jags A.M. We're going to move forward. I'm checking in with the 49ers team reporter to learn more about the matchup.
At Fields, you're never just a customer.
You're a superstar.
You're celebrated. Every visit is personal.
Got your name in lights. You're a superstar.
You're not like the rest. Neither are we. You're a superstar. And at Fields, we treat you like one because luxury isn't just how it looks. It's how it makes you feel.
Visit fieldsauto.com.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? Right now during the Renewal by Anderson's Big BOGO event, buy one, get one 40% off, plus 0 money down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. At Renewal by Anderson, our Acclaim Impact Replacement windows are built for Florida homes and designed to help you save money on your energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer expires September 30th. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free design consultation. License number CGC 1527613.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold they had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite, it's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone, fresh veggies, and their new pickle drizzle. Order the new Jag Stack in the app right now. Available for a limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval.
Champions are built from the support and encouragement they get from the team around them. No one knows that better than Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.
As one of the nation's largest pediatric health systems, Nemours Children's Health gives hope to future champions every day to go well beyond their limits. Together, we can redefine children's health. We are Nemours Children's Health.
Can you imagine rising for work before the crack of dawn? Tending to hundreds of acres of land before dusk? Well, that's what happens on 47,000 Florida farms every day. Florida's farmers work hard to grow nutritious food for you and your family. And you can help support them by enjoying delicious Fresh from Florida produce. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop or visit freshfromflorida.com to learn more.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Jags fans, you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home? Check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans. Welcome into Behind Enemy Lines, where we check in with a media member from the team the Jaguars are playing this week. So this week we're checking in with 49ers team reporter Briana Jeannel, my counterpart. I appreciate you. And obviously we want to hear more about the 49ers. They're 3-0 right now. They've battled through a ton of adversity already with injuries. What have you seen from the team so far?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. But yes, the word for this team's play and the first 3 games of the season have been resilience. I mean, this team has faced a new challenge every week, and a lot of times it's not just the opponent. It also comes internally. I mean, not having wide receiver Brandon Ayuk to start the season, Brock Purdy going down, Juwan Jennings going down last week, most recently not having Nick Bosa now for the rest of the season. So I give a ton of credit to head coach Kyle Shanahan for his creative play calling throughout these first 3 games of the season. And really a lot of credit to all the next men up answering the call. It's not just next man up, but there's a ton of guys who have really stepped up in these first 3 games. And, you know, the team's mentality is whatever it takes, we're going to get it done. Kyle Juszczyk, I caught up with him right after the win on Sunday, and he said whether you win by 1 point or 40 points, a win is a win, and they're going to find any way to get it done.
Absolutely. We are a little familiar with your backup quarterback, Mac Jones. He was here last year. He came in, got 2 wins. What's the latest on the quarterback situation? I know Brock Purdy's working his way back as well.
Yeah, definitely. Mac Jones re-aggravated a left knee sprain that he had in the preseason this Sunday against the Cardinals. And meanwhile, Brock Purdy is dealing with a toe injury and an injury to his non-throwing shoulder. So he was limited in practice last week, but we did see him move around and make some passes. So if the quarterback situation was any unclear last week, it sure is a bit more unclear as we head into this week. But we'll hear from head coach Kyle Shanahan in about an hour from this time of recording. So we'll definitely be looking for some more direction there, if Brock Purdy is healthy enough to return, or if it'll be Mac Jones back under center again against his former team.
Gotcha. I know you mentioned Nick Bosa, unfortunately, obviously having that knee injury, he's out for the year, but what the 49ers, I think, have always done well is it's next man up. And when you look at the defense, he's a big leader on defense. How does the defense respond without him?
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Shanahan said it best. There's simply no replacing Nick Bosa. The entire D-line will have to step up moving forward. It's going to take a collective effort to help fill that void by the All-Pro. So, you know, the team is looking to rookie first-round pick Mykel Williams, Bryce Huff, Yetur Gross-Matos, and Sam O. They're among the defensive linemen that are expected to help up and step in and help fill the void there.
Absolutely. Looking at this matchup, who are some X factors for you, some players to watch in this game against the Jags?
Absolutely, Christian McCaffrey. He's a dual threat, and he's proven that last week. 52 yards on the ground, 88 through the air. He's being used as a slot receiver, with a lot of our wide receivers being injured so far. And on the defense, I'd have to point to that rookie, Mykel Williams. With Nick Bosa out, the defense will be relying on him a ton to rush the passer. He was extremely impressive in training camp with just his size, his strength, and his speed. And he's been getting better each and every week. So with a lot more on his plate against the Jaguars, I'm excited to see how he'll answer the call on Sunday.
Should be a fun one. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you on Sunday.
Absolutely. See you Sunday.
Keep with us here on Jags A.M. Coming up after the break, we'll give you our predictions for Sunday's matchup against the 49ers.
Reach for the sky.
At Fields, you're never just a customer.
You're a superstar.
You're celebrated. Every visit is personal.
Got your name in lights. You're a superstar.
You're not like the rest. Neither are we. You're a superstar. And at Fields, we treat you like one because luxury isn't just how it looks. It's how it makes you feel.
Visit fieldsauto.com.
Superstar.
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
Sudduth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudduth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudduth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudduth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jax. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudduth is helping you on moving day. Visit sudduth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold they had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite, it's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone, fresh veggies, and their new pickle drizzle. Order the new Jag Stack in the app right now. Available for a limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants, the hottest subs in Duval.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Cheer on your Jaguars as they travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers this Sunday at the official away game watch party at Mr. Chubby's Ponte Vedra Beach. Indulge in the biggest and best wings in town with appearances by Jackson DeVille and the Roar. You'll even get the chance to win autographed items and game tickets, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow Jags fans. Mr. Chubby's Wings, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Jags A.M. brought to you by Sudduth Moving and Storage, Florida's most trusted and dependable moving company. Sudduth proud to be the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. To get a guaranteed quote, visit sudduth.com/Jacksonville. Welcome to the future. We're going to do our very best to predict what the headlines will be on Monday morning after this matchup in San Francisco with the 49ers. Brian, hasn't gone well in California.
No.
Is this when it switches?
Yeah, well, I'm optimistic. You know, when I saw the schedule and, you know, just kind of thinking, well, you know, here's wins and losses. It's very non-scientific. I kind of booked this one for an L because the Jaguars have just never played well in the Bay Area. They've won in Oakland. They've never won in San Francisco. The last time they were out there, 2017, they had a terrific defense. And Jimmy Garoppolo, who had just gotten into the lineup, just took them apart. Kyle Shanahan had a great plan, and that was a great defense, and they looked helpless against the Niners that day. But I have a different take on this one because that team is so beat up, and this team has shown the fundamentals of being able to run the football, to be able to take the ball away and stop the run. So I say third time's a charm. Jaguars have played in San Francisco 3 times. They played there in 2009 at Candlestick Park. They lost in a big way. Then they played, as I mentioned, at Levi Stadium, 2017, so what's that, 8 seasons ago? But I think this time, because the Niners are so beat up and because this team is doing some things well, and listening to the coaches and players this week, I just think this team has the right mindset to go west and figure it out. I think things are different this year.
Yeah, I've got some emails this week. You know, it's ridiculous. They've never won there in 31 years. Well, they played twice. Yeah. So let's just not have that be another thing this franchise hasn't done well. So mine is a little bit different. I share the confidence that Brian does that they're a different team going out there. I think they're going to play well. I think my headline was something along the lines of a bit too tough. I don't. If I'm picking and I'm neutral, I probably wouldn't pick them. But I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be a fourth quarter game. And to me, the way this franchise has played a lot on the West Coast, when it's not going well, they get rolled, right? I think it's going to be a competitive game. I think they're going to have a chance. It wouldn't surprise me if they won. I think the 49ers are a team that plays to its own identity very well and knows how to play. I wonder if this young team is ready to go do this, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. I think a huge factor is Liam Cohen has played against this, or has coached against this franchise a lot, meaning the 49ers. So I don't think what they do in their approach, which is unique, is going to surprise the Jaguars. I think Liam Cohen's presence gives them a huge edge.
I understand exactly where you're coming from, because that's the way that I felt when I first looked at this. There's just one other thing I want to say, and that is, when you find a way to win a game when you're not playing well, and the Jaguars were not playing well. I had a veteran player tell me in the locker room the other day that when you play poorly, as they did on offense, and you still win, especially against a team against the Texans that are an emotional rival as well as a divisional rival, and you do, the belief level is high. And I think it's that belief level in Liam and what they're doing here that gives me the sense that it's going to be different, but we'll find out.
No, I'll say this. I'm intrigued, and full disclosure, there's been games, this team's going out to the West Coast, where I was less intrigued and more, I may as well go ahead and write it, right? It's a big moment and a big measuring stick. I can't call it a must-win, but it's going to be interesting to see how they handle this. I think they'll handle it well.
It is worth pointing out, by the way, their last game in California was against the Chargers in 2023, and they won that one. So it's not like they don't win out there.
We're starting a new role.
Well, perhaps. Things are different.
I think the timing's good. Like you said, banged up team early in the season to make a trip. I think this is good timing for them. For me, it's going to come down to quarterback play. Trevor Lawrence absolutely has to play well on the road. And this is a new system. It'll be difficult. I think he can do it. Hopefully he does. But also quarterback play on the other side, because whether it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy, they're both banged up. So for me, how the West was won, this is going to be up to the edge guys getting after the quarterback. You're going to continue with the takeaways. I wouldn't mind a defensive touchdown. I think that would be nice as well. Maybe a little scoop and score action. But they're going to have to get back and pressure that quarterback, whoever that may be. If it is Brock Purdy, you can't give him time. And Mac Jones, they're familiar with, so they should be able to handle that, one would assume. But we don't assume. We just hope for the best here. And I think that's going to come down to quarterbacks at the end of the day with this matchup. So
great headline, you win.
I win.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yes, we compete. So I'll put a little notch next to my name. So
quietly, I've been competing all along, but now it's in public.
Now they know. Stay with us. I'll tell you what's coming up the rest of the week before the game on Sunday.
Reach for the sky.
At Fields, you're never just a customer.
You're a superstar.
You're celebrated. Every visit is personal.
Got your name in lights. You're a superstar.
You're not like the rest. Neither are we. You're a superstar. And at Fields, we treat you like one, because luxury isn't just how it looks. It's how it makes you feel.
Visit fieldsauto.com.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold they had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite, it's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone, fresh veggies, and their new pickle drizzle. Order the new Jag Stack in the app right now. Available for a limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jags. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudeth is helping you on moving day. Visit Sudeth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Cheer on your Jaguars as they travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers this Sunday at the official away game watch party at Mr. Chubby's Ponte Vedra Beach. Indulge in the biggest and best wings in town with appearances by Jackson DeVille and more. You'll even get the chance to win autographed items and game tickets, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow Jags fans. Mr. Chubby's Wings, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Champions are built from the support and encouragement they get from the team around them. No one knows that better than Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.
As one of the nation's largest pediatric health systems, Nemours Children's Health gives hope to future champions every day to go well beyond their limits. Together, we can redefine children's health. We are Nemours Children's Health.
Here on the Jaguars as we travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers this Sunday at the official away game watch party taking place at Mr. Chubby's in Ponte Vedra. That's the Ponte Vedra location of Mr. Chubby's. Jags A.M. today also brought to you by Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Head over to fieldsauto.com. San Francisco, I'd absolutely be at Mr. Chubby's in Ponte Vedra because I love their snacks. They bring them in on Monday, and they're the best
really
part of
good.
Monday.
Yeah, they're really good.
When we look at this game, obviously tons of injuries on both sides, so it's a little hard to say exactly what it's going to look like. For us, De'Ami Brown's not practicing, but for 49ers, they've got injuries all up and down. Is this one of those franchises, though, where it doesn't matter who's necessarily playing? You kind of know with a Kyle Shanahan team, they'll be prepared no matter what.
I think Shanahan is a genius. Eric Armstead and I had this conversation in the locker room yesterday. The guy does so much with personnel groups and with motions and formations. If you watch the Broncos back in the 90s and 2000s when his dad was the head coach there, you saw the same thing. It's easier to execute when you've got John Elway, perhaps, than trying to figure out whether it's Purdy or Mac Jones. But it doesn't matter. He just seems to get the most out of what he's got offensively. We'll see defensively. Nick Bosa is a superstar. When you don't have that off of one side, it allows offensive coordinators to make adjustments to their protection schemes and things, and we'll find out what their defense looks like.
Yeah, and I love Shanahan as a play caller as well. But to me, what's just as impressive is think about the last he's been there, I think 8 or 9 years. I'm not sure what, but it seems like every year the storyline out of there is the adversity they deal with. They're used to being in this situation because they're beat up a lot, and yet most years they fight through that and figure out a way to compete, which shows me he's got the team, he's got the locker room. So I guess when I see a 49ers injury report, I almost ignore it because it seems like they play well no matter what. I think it might be a similar game to last week, and again, to me, if the Jaguars win this, then I come back to Jacksonville thinking this team's got a chance to make the playoffs. So I think they still do, but boy, does this set them up and show me that they can go out and pass a tough test.
Well, I mean, obviously this is a big game for them because when you look at Kansas City and you know what you're getting there, and then Seattle is a really good team, and then you go to London to play the Rams, who are a really good team.
NFL's hard, Brian.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this stretch of schedule is as challenging as I can remember in recent memory.
It's going to be a good one no matter what. Make sure you tune in on Sunday to check out that game. We will be back on Tuesday to go over everything for you from the weekend. We got a late flight back, but we'll check in on Tuesday to recap that game. Enjoy it.